Okay, so hello and welcome back to another Unity multiplayer tutorial. Today we're going to be looking at how to integrate Unity's lobby service within your multiplayer game so you can host and then see a list of all the currently hosted games, then you can click on the one you'd like to join, hit join, and you're in. If you end up enjoying the tutorial or find it useful, then it would help a lot if you were to like and subscribe, but without further ado, let's get started. So as always, there's a link down below to the GitHub repository for this project, in case you just want to go download it to follow along or get the final project. That's up to you. It's down there in case you want it. So inside of Unity, to start working with lobbies, you're going to need to go to Window Package Manager and download the lobby package if you haven't already. So just go to Unity Registry, search lobby, and here it is. Install that, and then you'll be ready. And then once you've got the lobby package, we can head over to UGS. That's what we've been using for the previous tutorials. We've set up Relay using UGS, and we're also going to go to Lobby, and then we can hit Set Up Lobby. And we don't need to go through this whole process. If you're just joining in this tutorial, then you might need to go through each of these steps here. But because we've already linked it, like it says here, you can skip this. So next, we've already got the lobby package. Next, turn lobby on. Next. And then we're done, finish. So once you've enabled lobby, we can then head back to Unity again. And what else have I set up? Well, if we go into the main menu, I've added a bit of UI, as I usually do, for the lobbies. So I can enable this and we can see, if I was to turn on the menu panel, we have this lobby window and it has a scroll, it has a refresh button. And then if we were to go to prefabs, UI main menu, I've got this lobby item prefab, which we can then spawn in. So if I go to the lobby container, scroll view, viewport, I can then drag in this prefab to the content. And this is a lobby item, and I can spam duplicate it. And once we get too many, they don't actually render on the screen. We won't see this below here. We then get the scroll wheel that we can use to go through the list. And yeah, that's actually it for the setup. I've just created this UI. All we're going to be doing is hooking up this join button, and we'll be changing the text here to say how many people are in our lobby and what the lobby's name is. So I'll get rid of those items. And on the lobby's background, I've got a lobby list script. It's currently empty, but I've just made the script here. And same with the prefab that we just looked at. So if I go back to the main menu, lobby item, we have a script on there, but that script is also empty. So that's all you need to get going. We can then go back, disable the lobby's background object so that it's off, and same with the menu panel. And to be actually able to turn that on, you could write some code for it. But what I've done is on the main menu, we've got a lobbies button here now. And that lobbies button, all it does when you click it is it just sets the game object active for the background, the lobby's background. So just have that button enable the game object. That's all it is to turn on the lobby screen. Okay, that should be it. So we can close the menu panel. So the first thing to do is to actually create a lobby when a host starts a game. So to do that, we'll head to Scripts, Networking, and we'll go to the host manager that we have created. And we'll go down to the method where we create a game. So it's here when we create the allocation, get the join code. Around about here, we want to then make a lobby. So over here on about line 72, once we've set the relay data, we'll do a try catch in case there's an issue here. So try catch this. And what do we want to do? We want to create some lobby options. This is where you set various things about the lobby, whether it's a public or private lobby. And in our case, we're going to set some data on our lobby, which will be our join code, so that anyone who joins our lobby then gets the code to actually connect to our server. So over here, we'll say var create lobby options is equal to a new create lobby options object. If that's not imported, just hit control period and import the lobbies and lobbies models usings. And then in my case, I want it to be a public lobby. So create lobby option dot is private equals false. And you can of course control this by a button in the UI so someone can make a public or a private lobby. But for now, we'll just have them all public. And then create lobby option dot data is where you can then set some custom data. In our case, it's going to be the join code. So we'll make a new, it has to be a new dictionary of string data object. But inside of that, you can do what you want. So we'll have one element in there. We'll call it join code. This will be the key, which is the string. Then the actual value will be a new data object. And inside of a data object, you simply set the visibility. So this is going to be basically who can see it, whether it's publicly available or whether you have to be in the lobby to get this data. In our case, we want to make it so you have to be in the lobby. So data object, visibility options, dot, and in our case, member. So it's available to anyone who is a member of our lobby. And then the actual value for this is going to be the join code itself. So anyone who's in our lobby can read the join code. Let's make sure to put a semicolon down here. And now we've made the settings for the lobby, we can actually go ping the API to create the lobby for us. So we'll make a lobby variable is equal to, and then we're going to be awaiting this. Since it's an API call, we have to wait for the network latency. So await lobbies dot instance dot create lobby async, and you pass in the name for your lobby. And I don't currently have a way to actually come up with lobby names, so I'm just going to call it my lobby for now for this test. Then the max players we've actually already assigned at the top is max connections, and the options are the options we've just made. So that's create lobby options. Let's make that plural. So rename that to be plural. There we go. And then once this has been made, we get back a lobby ID, so lobby.id, and it'd be nice to store this in the script so we can use it later. So at the top, I'm going to go make a private string lobby ID. I already made this apparently, I forgot to take this out. But yes, just make a private string lobby ID. And over here, we can just set that, so lobby ID is equal to the lobby's ID. And then once you've made a lobby, it starts existing on their service, but you have to keep pinging it every so often, otherwise it'll just get cleaned up. Otherwise, you might create a lobby and never shut it down, and it would just exist forever. So you need to send a heartbeat, is what it's referred to as. So to do that, we can make a coroutine that just happens every, let's say, 15 seconds. And every time it does that, it just tells them, hey, please keep our lobby active. So to do that, just below this method, we'll make a private coroutine, so enumerator. And we'll call it heartbeat lobby coroutine, taking in the time to wait for the heartbeat, wait time seconds. And then in here, we just need to basically say new wait for seconds, which you can use in coroutines, passing in the delay, wait time seconds. And then if we store this in a variable, so var delay equals, we can then do a while loop. So we can say while true, so we make an infinite loop here, and we say lobbies.instance.send heartbeat ping async. So that's a method in the lobby system. You just pass in the ID, which is why we stored it as a variable. So lobby ID. And then after it's done it, we just need to say yield return delay. So we only create this object once, but we reuse it every, let's say, 15 seconds, and every 15 seconds it'll just ping the lobby. So we can then go back up, and over here when we set the lobby ID, we can then say start coroutine, heartbeat, passing in, let's say, 15 for now. And then if there's an issue in the catch, we can get a lobby service exception given to us, and then we can just log that out. So debug.log e. And then we can also throw the exception. So that's actually the whole process for starting up a lobby. And we can't really test it until we have the UI to see them and join. So the next thing we'll do is we'll go to the lobbies list script over here. So in here, let's get rid of the start and update method. And we'll say on enable, so every time we enable this bit of UI, so on enable, we want to try refreshing the list. So we'll make a method, refresh list. We'll make it over here public, and it's going to have to be an async void refresh list because we're doing more API calls. And in the refresh list, we only want to do it if we're not already doing it. If we spam refresh, we don't want it to let us do that, otherwise we'll get some rate limiting calls. So let's just make a boolean at the top. Private bool is refreshing. And then over here we can say, well, if is refreshing, just return, so we don't do it too many times. And then right after that, we can set is refreshing to true. Then at the end of this method, we'll set is refreshing back to false. And now we just need to do our asynchronous code in the middle here. So now we need to make our search query to tell the lobby system basically what we want. We want this many lobbies. We only want the ones that are available, that have like spaces available for us. So to do that, we can do our try catch here for the API call. And then we can say var options equals new query lobbies options. And if you've spelled that correctly, you should be able to just import unity.services.lobby. And then we can set on here options.count. This is how many we want to get. Let's just pick a number for now, like 25. It really doesn't matter. Eventually you might want to add like pagination, so you can say get me the first 25 and then get me the next 25 or whatever. But we'll be happy with this for now. We only have one. And then we can set filters. Options.filters equals a new list of these. Now let's shorten this a bit. So if we just remove all of the bit before it, we can then just import unity.services.lobbies.models. And then inside of here, we can make a new query filter. So the field, if we go query filter field options, you can see all the things here that you can query for. So we're going to say available slots. Then OP is the operator. So we can set query filter dot. So we want to get these are things like equal to, not equal, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. So we say we want any lobbies with available slots greater than, so GT, and then the value. So let's say greater than 0. This has to be a string here, just how it is. And then the host has the ability to lock a lobby, so we don't want to bother seeing any locked lobbies. So right after this, we can then say new, well, let's get rid of this bracket here, it's out of place. So new query filter. Honestly, I'm just going to copy paste the one we already have. We'll get rid of the comma at the end, put a semicolon over here so it's happy. Then we just need to change it from available slots to is locked, and then greater than to EQ for equal to, and then 0. So if is locked is 0, that's the same as is locked is false. That's what we want. We want the ones that are not locked and that have available slots greater than 0. And now we want to take this query and actually get some lobbies back. So we'll say here var lobbies equals await lobbies dot instance dot query lobbies async, passing in our options that we made, and then that will get back to us with some lobbies. So now we're at the point where we want to spawn in the lobby items, but we haven't actually written any code in the lobby item script yet. So I'm going to hop over there for now, and we're going to continue here. So what does a lobby item have? Well, we don't need start and update. What we do need is reference, so serialize field private tmp underscore text. This will be the lobby name text. We'll have to import tmp pro, tm pro, and then we also need text a second time for the lobby players text to say how many people are there. And then we can make a method that gets called whenever it's spawned in, that we initialize it with the actual lobby we want this item to represent, which means we'll have to store a private lobby in here, call it lobby, and then make sure we add Unity services lobbies models. Then we can make the method initialize, so public void initialize, taking in the lobby that we are meant to be. And because we have a button on here, and when we click it we want to join the lobby, we're also going to take in the lobbies list itself, lobbies list. So whenever we're pressed, we'll call a method on the lobbies list saying, hey, this is the lobby someone wants to join. So we're also going to need to store that one privately. So private lobbies list, and then we can just say this.lobbies list is equal to lobbies list, and same with the lobby. This.lobby is equal to the lobby coming in. And then for the UI, we can update it to say lobby name text is equal to lobby.name, since lobbies have a name. And then we can also set the players text, so lobby players text is equal to, what's over here? Okay, so we need to set lobby name text.text. Same with the players, make sure it's .text. And then we can make a string here, putting the $sign before it, so I can use braces like this. We're going to say inside of here, lobby.players.count / lobbies, lobby dot players, here we go, max players. And then we just need a method here, a public void, and this is going to be called when someone clicks on this button. So public void join, and all that's going to happen when they hit join is we're going to say lobbies list dot, and then we'll need some method in there, so join async. Lobbies list here should be lowercase, I don't know why I made it uppercase. There we go. Passing in the lobby. This method we haven't made yet, the join async method, but we'll go make it right now. So we're done with the lobby item, we can go back to the list, and at the bottom we'll have to make a public async void, join async. This is the method we just called in the item. That takes in the lobby that we want to join. And just like we have the is refreshing, we should also have an is joining bool so we don't accidentally try joining two at once. So let's make a second private bool is joining. And then down in here we can do the usual if is joining, then return. And then we set is joining to true. And at the end we set is joining back to false. So to join a lobby, it's pretty simple. We just do a try catch. And then in the try, what do? Well, we say await lobbies dot instance dot join lobby by ID async. We have the lobby ID we want to join. So it's lobby dot ID. And then I'm not actually sure if we can reuse this lobby variable here, so I'm going to make a new one, var joining lobby. And once this is done, once we've awaited it, we can then go grab the join code that we set. So string join code is equal to the joining lobby dot data, and we can read this data because we're now a member of the lobby. And the key we set was join code. And if you read the value of this, you then get the join code that we set. And now that we have a join code, we can join like we would on the main menu. If we just typed in the join code, we can say await client manager dot instance dot start client, and you just pass in the join code. And then we can catch, oh, what's the issue here? Cannot await voids, so we'll have to go and make start client an async task. And then make sure you've added threading.tasks if you haven't already. So now that is able to be awaited. In the catch, we can catch a lobby service exception like we did in the other place. Debug.log e, throw if there's an issue. Okay. And technically, if there is an issue and it fails to connect, we should also set is joining back to false here. Otherwise, we would then not be able to connect to another server because we would never set this back to false. So now let's head back to Unity and let everything compile, and hopefully that should be everything. We'll have to go hook up our objects. So we have this one warning. Let's see what it is. So when we start client here, we're not actually awaiting it. We've now made it an async task, so we should await it. It won't break if we don't, but we should to make it not give us this issue. And then this method itself will need to be asynchronous. And now it's all happy. Cool. So there's actually one last thing I need to do that I forgot. So if we go back to the lobbies list, we don't actually spawn in the lobby UI because we stopped at that point to go make the lobby item, but now we need to, of course, spawn it in. So let's make a reference to it at the top. So serialize field, private game object. Actually, no, because it's a lobby item. We want to spawn in a lobby item. Call it lobby item prefab. And we need the transform parent to spawn it as a child of. So private transform lobby item parent. And then once we've got all the lobbies, we want to go through any that already exist, because if we load some lobbies in and then go back and then come back again, we want to completely clear it. So for each transform child in lobby item parent, then we can say destroy child.gameObject, and then we can spawn in all the new ones. So for each lobby in lobbies dot results, we can then instantiate a lobby item prefab. As the parent, we can set it to be lobby item parent, and then we'll need to store this in a variable. So we'll say var lobby instance equals. And then on lobby instance, we need to call our own initialize method that we made, passing in the lobbies list, which is this, and the lobby, which is lobby. And then we can just finish off the catch. So it's going to be a lobby service exception if we get an issue here. We can then debug.log. We can then throw, and just like below, if it fails, we want to set is refreshing to false. Otherwise, we'll be permanently locked out of doing it. So we'll do that there. And now we're good. We can go back. There shouldn't be any warnings or errors, and everything should be done. So now we just need to hook it up. So main menu, lobbies background. We want to set the lobby item parent. So that's content. That's where we spawn in the lobby items. And then the prefab itself, let's lock my inspector. Go to prefabs, UI, main menu, drag in the lobby item. And then if we go to the lobby item, we want to drag in the name text and the player's text, and that should be good. Make sure the join button, when you click it, we then call lobby item.join, and that should be everything. The only other thing I might not have mentioned is on this lobby background, we have a close button. So when that close button is clicked, I just do the opposite of what I do to open it. I just call lobbies background gameObject.setActive and then leave that false. And then we also do have a manual refresh button. So we could click that, drag in the lobbies background, call lobbiesList.refreshList. And hopefully that should be everything. I know this was quite a long one, quite an advanced tutorial with a lot going on, but the repo is down below in case you need to actually go through it line by line yourself. So let's do a file build and run and see if it works. Okay, the build is done. If we go into lobbies, there shouldn't be any lobbies. We'll close it, we'll host. And then once the hosting is done, we should hopefully be able to go back to the client, go to lobbies, and we see my lobby is there with 1 out of 4 players. I'll hit join on the lobby. Give it a second. It has joined us. We can then pick our character and play like usual. So yeah, that's it for this tutorial. We now have the lobbies working. It was a very long and difficult tutorial with a lot of things to remember to do, but it all worked in the end. So I hope I managed to help some of you who are trying to implement lobbies into your own game to show you how to do it. And of course, there's more than what I showed you. For example, when we do the query for the lobbies, I just hard-coded 25 and things like that. You might want to actually make that a bit more robust. And also, when people close the game and leave the lobby, you'll need to maybe add those cases in as well. Because right now, if I just closed this client and then tried to look at lobbies again, it would say you're already a member of that lobby. So there is a little bit of cleanup to do there, but this video could go on for hours if I was to do every little thing. So I hope this is fine for now. If there are more features of lobbies you want me to cover, then do let me know down below. But yeah, that's it for now. So if you did enjoy the tutorial or found it useful, then please leave a like and subscribe. It would help a lot. That's it for now, so I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye. But of course, before I go, I've got to thank my patrons. So special thanks to Francisco Lira, Ryan Shu, David McDermott, Gregory Pierce, Kyle K, Mark McCorkle, and Sahila. If anyone else would like to help support the channel monetarily, the link to Patreon is down below. If not, there are also links down below to other social media such as Twitch, Twitter, and Discord. If you could help us out by following on any of those or checking any of those out, that would be greatly appreciated. That's it for now, so I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.